No, hello.
Sorry about that. We lost our audio for a minute. And so, anyway, welcome to Good Heart Metaphysical Church. We are here with just two of us, Mary and myself. So it might be a little bit different today, but that's okay. We've done this in the past. Actually, we did this for several weeks in a row. A couple announcements. Today, I am going to be channeling Reiki for the first time under the synopsis of Good Heart Metaphysical Church. I bring that up because this is available to all for donation only. And I also do Akashic record readings. We do chakra work. We do meditation. We do spiritual mentoring. So all donations an email to us right now, and we'll get that set up for you. We can do anything through distance, through Zoom, or any other fashion. But today I'm doing an in-person Reiki with someone, and I'm excited about that. I haven't channeled Reiki in a while, and maybe sometime in the future we'll go into what all these things really are as to what we offer and how they work. But right now we're on chakras. The other announcement, and it's this big announcement, if not bigger, is that I'm finally going in to get my surgery done on my hip. And that's going to put me out for probably 3 to 4 weeks. We are going to have pre-recorded gatherings or talks that we'll get some comments on it so that we can respond to them since we can't do any live comments, we will have to have comments typed into the regular ones, and we've already pre-recorded one, and I don't think it went very well. We might have to re-record it, but that was our experiment because we're not doing them here at this particular place because we don't have that reserved for just any time during the week. We don't have just full access to this building. We have to reserve this building for when we're here. But I'm looking forward to getting my hip fixed, and I hope you guys are out there being taking care of your health too, so that you can be part of this. So let's just go into it. I guess we want to invite all light spirits in, as always. We want to thank Mary for helping me today. She's doing 2 jobs, and she's doing both the computer and the video. So if the camera doesn't follow me immediately, just bear with us. But she does a terrific job, really.
Can you let Paul know that his job sucks?
Mary says she doesn't like doing 2 jobs at once, but we'll get it done. She says Paul's job sucks, but he probably thinks her job does. So anyway, we do want to invite all the light spirits in. We want to welcome all of you, the viewers, that makes this happen, that keeps us going. We don't have a large following, but that's the following we have, is the ones that want to hear it and possibly need to hear it. So that's good. Share it with other people that you know that are like-minded and want to know more about things, or have comments to share with us, because we are not enlightened, all knowledgeable people on this. There are many other people out there, and we want you to share with us what your thoughts are as to where you see things going, so we can learn and we can become more spiritual and more knowledgeable about all this stuff too. So please make comments. With that said, we're going to go right into it. Take a couple minutes, just a couple brief moments, to get yourself situated to be receiving to whatever it is you're to receive today. And I'm in a lot of pain today, so if I'm running slow, just bear with me. So take a couple minutes and do whatever it is that you feel you need to do. to receive the message that you need to receive today. So today we're going to be the final part of the introduction, and I know it was a very long introduction into chakras, but there's a lot goes on with chakras. So, gotta get a little sip of water here. As you can see on the whiteboard, this is my attempt at drawing a spine. Okay. So, let me see if I can get my pens over here a little closer to me. We know that we have every chakra is a different color. We've talked about the prism coming in. I don't have white up here because it is white and this is a whiteboard, but we have all the other ones that come down through. So this is when we count chakras, we count from the base up, not from the top down. I don't know why they do that. Doesn't make any difference. But this would be number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So when anybody talks to you about your 4th chakra, you're talking about the heart chakra. When everybody talks about the 2nd chakra, you're talking about the sacral. So this is why that's the main reason I bring this up, because some people call them by numbers and not necessarily by the names. So that's why we want to go. So we start at the base, which is the root, sacral. Let me just write these on here where you can read them, because I don't think that other one we had, you could read them very good. Root, sacral, read all that. So you have the root chakra, number 1, sacral, solar plexus, heart, throat, third eye, and crown. Each one of these, as we go through them individually, I'll be putting on their Sanskrit name. And we also have a vibration of verbal vibration for each one of these, as well as color vibration and sound vibration. You can do singing bowls, and you can get a singing bowl that has a vibration for each chakra. You can have a voice vibration. So I don't have them with me right now, but I know because I did the one that I know for sure is the third or the second chakra, which is now that's Ram, not Ram, but that's how they spell it. Each one of these has one. Yam, Ram, Lam, so on. I don't know the order of them right off the top of my head, but when I use them, I have a chart that tells me them, and I just did a pre-recorded one on the sacral yesterday, and I know it was Ram. So what you would do, if you do it properly, and I'm just going to use Ram, even though we pre-recorded, it'll come through on that. You would do like you would emphasize the R at the beginning. That is the one that's going to vibrate that chakra because they all are AM. So it's and you'll feel it in your sacral. Go actually, if you do it properly and do it often enough, you'll start feeling it in where that chakra is. And that's interesting because that can help you to determine where the chakra is located in your body. So that's Ram. So you would have yeah, and on, and I don't remember the rest of them, but they're all AMs. And then you have the most one of the biggest ones. That's the only one that doesn't have an A in the middle of it. And most people pronounce it O M. That's the Om. And the neat thing about the Om, if you do it right, if you go Om, you're vibrating every chakra at the same time. That is in the Hindu belief, that is the sound of the superior, of the supreme. That is like an amen in Christianity. But it's all so that vibrates all the chakras. And the reason you want to know these things, all these different ones, and you can look them all up and have them right, but you'll get them in the individual chakras that we go through, is to help balance them, to help bring the right vibration to them. Okay, and that's why we want to know all these. First time I was introduced to this, I went to a free yoga class on a Saturday morning, and she went through every one of these, and we had to do every one of these. But the problem was, I was so new into it. I did it, but I didn't do it the way I just did it. I just went Ram, Lam. I was embarrassed to do the chant. The chant is what you do to bring the vibration out. So those are the primal sounds that your body makes. Actually, just a tidbit, informational tidbit. Sanskrit itself is written through primal vibration of your body. There are some things that they don't have in their language because it's not primal vibration, and that's why Sanskrit is such an interesting. I don't know Sanskrit, but it is a very interesting language to learn. I'd love to learn it someday. So we now know that we have vibration. Every one of these is circling. So let me get an eraser here. Every one of these chakras are wheels. They move. They circle. I'm just going to leave the 7 up there in place of the crown chakra because I don't have a white to it'll show up on white, obviously. Okay, so every one of these are circles. So really, I'm not a very good artist, so bear with me. The root chakra goes like this. they have, yeah, I forgot. They go out in a cone. Every one of these does this. Okay. Every one of these comes out as a cone. And one cone goes one way, the other cone goes the other way. So one's going clockwise, one's going counterclockwise. That's the way these, and you can find designs of this. You can find them on the internet. I didn't, I haven't ordered one yet that I want to get, but you can, these actually will go around in circles. So what you can do if you're wanting to help to balance these, we got to talk a little bit about balance here, but if you want to balance these, can you go straight to me and down to my belly, Mary, down to my, there you go, right there. You start at your root, and it's best if you don't have a belt on like I have on today, if you don't have any metal on, but it's okay. Take your hand like this in a little cup, okay, and just go around about 10 to 12 times one way, then go the other way. This helps to balance that chakra. Then you go up to the next chakra. And this helps to balance it. Now they say you'll notice a difference in 3 weeks if you do this every day for 3 weeks, 21 days. It's interesting because 21 days, everything is in multiples of 7. You have 7 chakras, you're doing this for 7 days or 21 days. Okay. You do this every day. It takes about 5 minutes. When you get to the throat chakra, you just take 2 fingers and you go like this because the throat chakra is very small. It's only about this, I guess my is about the size of a man's Adam's apple. So you do that, and then you go around the other way 12 times. I do it 12 times, and then you go up here around your third eye, and then when you get to the crown, you go this way, and then you go backwards. Now you'll see, and I probably drew this. I drew this root wrong because I drew it for all the other chakras. But the truth of the matter is, the root chakra, and I don't know why I made that mistake because I know this inside out. The root chakra actually goes down. Okay. And then the crown goes up. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this on the crown. It's pretty small. Can you see the crown? So the crown goes up. So that's one of the reasons. Remember, we told you that some people can only call it 5 gates because this one doesn't double, that one isn't double. 1, 2, 3, 4. So they consider this the 5th, even though they're 2 different colors. Notice that we have another one with 2 different colors, and that's the heart, which is green on one side and pink on the other. We'll get into more of that when we do the individual. But some people look at it this way, as this is one chakra, because this is earth, and this is spirit. One possible work through. Okay. And every one of these chakras, though, goes like I originally drew the root chakra with their colors, except for the heart. The heart has green out here. The heart would go green, and pink. Okay. Yes.
Is this a side view of the spine?
No, this will be the front.
No, I mean the way the spine is.
It's yeah, it's a side view, but it's no, it's actually it's like this. It's looking at it this way, like from the back. The way you remember, when you have to get in a car and you need lumbar support, that would be right in here.
Okay.
Okay, so maybe it is a side view, I guess. Okay.
Because we're looking at the cones and they look like they're from a side view because.
Right.
Okay,
And exactly. So Mary's bringing up a good point. This is actually going front to back. So this is green would be the front of your heart chakra. Okay, be right where my hand is on. Okay, and it would come out. That doesn't come out. It probably doesn't. I don't know how far they come out. And the pink would be in the back. This would be going up here, and the root would be going down here. And everything else would be coming out the front and out the back, out the front and out the back. Now, we say that's in the spine, but it's an energetic um, um, technical instruments that we have today. We can't see them. We can't see the chakras. We can't see the pathways that they go through. We can't even see when you get into things like um, um, acupuncture and stuff. We can't see the pathways that they use either in our body. They pretty much follow the nervous system and or the lymphatic system, but we can't see the actual energy channels, which is interesting to me because everybody keeps trying to find these things that we talk about, but that's why it is what? Metaphysics, unknown physics.
but there is photography.
There is photography that could take your aura, but it doesn't take the inside of you. And we're going to get into auras later on, but it really only takes a synopsis of only um, one layer of your aura. And so, so back to the chakras. So each one of these are a cone coming out the front and out the back. Okay, and one's turning one way, one's turning the other way. So you can do that I told you about to help do it. You can also take. Let's see which one I want. I'll use this one today. You can also take, and this is easier if you have another person doing it is connected to a pendulum. But you can also take a pendulum, and it will tell you. See, it's going around in clockwise right there. So I'm well grounded. So then and this will tell you where you are. See, my sacral is not as, see how it's just barely going around compared to the root. And then you go up to the solar plexus. And you're using a pendulum and you're seeing how far in or out of balance they are. You can go up to the heart. And it says I don't have a heart. So then once you find out where they are, you can go down and you can give this pendulum the intention and say, right size or harmonize my root chakra, and it will go to whatever it needs to do to harmonize it. Because if you know anything about pendulums, I'm not controlling this pendulum; it's doing it on its own. Now you see how it only went a little bit. That's because my root chakra is wide open. Not really wide open, but it's wider. If you do it on the sacral, it'll probably go in a bigger circle to try and get me to open my sacral up. See that? About me open up my sacral a little bit more. Okay. So it's trying to balance it. It's trying to harmonize it with the other ones. Okay. And you just do that with all of them. It's very hard to see what's going on unless you're in the mirror, what's going on up here. But I'm guessing that's from what I can feel on my hand, I'm guessing I'm pretty open up there, especially now that I'm Talking spirituality. Is it going pretty good, Mary? She gave me a thumbs up. You guys can't see that. So you can use that. I use it all the time when I do Reiki to see where you are. But let's talk about that for a minute, because your balancing of your chakras, which is what we want, a balanced body, helps us to not get sick, helps us to be more spiritual and in touch with spirituality, helps us to be in touch with the third dimension and the Earth Mother, and it helps us to give out the love, because the root. You notice that this is number 4. There's 3 below it, 3 above it. That's the balance right there. So when you're balanced, what are you doing? You're putting out love. You're drawing in love. You're putting out forgiveness. You're drawing in forgiveness. All in this heart chakra. That's the true balance. Okay. But here's the thing about balancing. I can go all day long and take this pendulum or use my hand, and I can try and balance that chakra. And Mary can tell you that my chakra is not as open as it should be. I can do this all day long. I can carry this with my hand in my pocket, and I can go every half hour and do this. And it may or may not change, but it's not going to stay there. So why isn't it going to stay there? It's not going to stay there because you have to change other things in your life. If you don't do shadow work, you're not going to change your sacral or your solar plexus, maybe even your heart, maybe even your throat, because you have to do something to you can't just talk the talk. You have to walk the walk. You have to do the purpose. You have to do the footwork to change, to keep that chakra balanced. Okay. The other thing that we don't do is that we do that is not very good. And I have a massage therapist who's very good at grounding, because she hardly ever wears shoes. But we aren't grounded to Mother Earth. That's why we're not in touch with her. Because if you probably don't want to look at my dirty shoes, but they got rubber soles. That's an insulator. That insulates me from the ground, from Mother Earth, from her vibration. That started in the 60s when we started mass producing shoes and didn't have collars making it. When we had leather, it could come through. There are certain things out there. I actually have rope sandals. I have moccasins that I can wear, but the problem is I can't wear them on my land because there's so much cactus. I'd be ended up with cactus holes all through my feet. But I'd love to do that. I ran around in sandals for years, but they didn't even, the ones that I ran around in still weren't grounding me because I had rubber soles on them. That was back before I understood all this. So we don't even ground properly. A wild animal, a domestic animal goes outside in their bare feet and they're grounding constantly. They are part of the earth. They are governed by the earth in many ways. So we're not grounded as much as we can. Some people are overgrounded. I believe that most of the time I'm overgrounded because I spend a lot of time, even though I have those kinds of shoes on, I'm in the dirt with my hands. I'm in the dirt I'm working with her all the time because I work a 40-acre parcel of land during the week. But then you can become here. But if there is no true communication of balanced chakras, if any one of these are congested, blocked, or wide open. Okay. You take a businessman, for instance. A businessman is very successful. Very successful. He's very confident about what he does. But he's very stupid when it comes to security. He doesn't understand security. He doesn't understand the fight and flight mode. He doesn't understand all these how to protect his family. He just throws money at everything because he's so rich and wants other people to take care of all that stuff. Why is that? Because he's not grounded. Grounded is the stability. Grounded is putting you onto the ground, putting you steadfast. Stop. Very steadfast to the to the earth. Your fight and flight mode, your security, your so on and so forth. Get into that when we do individuals, but that's your root chakra. That's the stop. That's the grounding. And oftentimes, if they're wide open in the solar plexus, they have no spiritual beliefs either or spiritual understanding, true spiritual understanding. Okay, some of them are thinking they do, and they may or may not. So, but that's a wide open solar plexus. Is one that is so successful, but is not in touch with their feelings, not in touch with their Mother Earth, not in touch with spirit, just out there. Probably, I'm guessing, but probably many people that have gotten rich on Wall Street are that way. It's all about the money. It's all about being successful. It's wide open. So those are some examples. But now here's something that's really interesting. Speaking of colors, and I said already, this one here, the Earth chakra. Now these are backwards when you see them in the third dimension. Sometimes these are backwards with what I'm going to tell you. These are the only three we're going to work with. You see those three circles? Can't see the yellow very well. There's yellow in there. Flip them upside down. Put the red on the top and the green on the bottom. What do you got? You got a traffic light. We use colors, knowingly or not, we use colors in our lives that correspond with the chakras. Red means what did I just say? It means stop, be secure, don't go anywhere. A red light, stop. Yellow, when it's balanced, says take it easy, slow down, don't be going too fast. Green light, love, put it out there, let's go. Let's get out of here. Let's go and share this with the world. Let's go. So there's your traffic light compared to the chakras. Isn't that interesting? And then we have, let's see if I can do this. We talked about this one other time, but then you have this. That's a shirt, by the way. A blue shirt. That's the throat chakra. Throat chakra is communication. You're safe. Everything's good. You can trust me. That's where the policemen got the blue uniforms from. The bus drivers get the blue uniforms from. It portrays trust. Every one of these portrays something. You see somebody in purple, the first thing you think of is reverence, as being a reverend. That's what you see purple in almost every religion. Bring up their clergy because that's the third eye. That's the spirituality. Some of them say that's the crown and it's indigo in the third eye. Okay. Orange, everybody skips over orange. Nobody wants to deal with their feelings. But orange is left out. Orange, I don't like the color orange. And that's something I need to point out. If you find a color you don't like, that's probably the chakra that is closed. More than likely, that's the chakra that is closed. And you don't like the color because you don't want to deal with that chakra. Isn't that interesting? So I don't even know where we are on time here, how long we've been on today. But I just needed to bring out that you can't. Well, let me just draw this in real quick. Just get you have, if this is closed, if your or if your sacral is closed, we'll put an X there. It's closed, doesn't go anywhere. But you're grounded. You have. It doesn't mean that this cannot communicate with this or this or this or this or this. You have pathways that we don't see. They can go by it. Okay. Now, most people don't see that. Most people aren't. You aren't going to see that in very many books about it, because everybody is concentrating, and rightly so, about opening up the pathway to go through all of them. Because that's how you balance. That's how you raise Kundalini. That's how you become harmonized and put the love out of everyone, is by going through the channels just one by one. Okay. But you can be grounded and still be able to talk to your solar plexus and say, yeah, I'm grounded. I'm pretty confident in my agricultural abilities, which I am. And so I'm bypassing my sacral, going straight to the solar plexus and giving me the confidence of what I'm doing, knowing that I am part of that. So you can bypass other ones, but ultimately, and this is what have been worked on in the past. I haven't worked on it here much lately. I'm not going to give any tales to you, but I need to work on this. I need to work on my sacral. That's the only one that I have a real problem with. I have lots of confidence, although I do get some anxiety, and that anxiety is because of this. And that's my shadow work. So you'll find out the shadow work has a lot to do. Well, let's do this too with the black. Let me get these things out so they don't. You take these three and these three, and this is your earth. This is your third dimension. And this is spirit. Let's get that home off in there so you can see spirit up there. So once you balance the three spirits, the crown, the third eye, and the throat, and then you balance them with your root, your sacral, and your solar plexus, then what's left for the balancing is the heart. That's only makes sense. It's right in the middle. It's not the middle child. It's the balance. Okay. Now, I will give you just a little bit before I leave here today about this, why this one's two colors. And I'm just going to briefly go over it. We'll go over it much more in the heart chakra in 3 weeks. Green is outward love. Pink is inward love. So pink generally deals with self-love. And the green generally deals with putting it out there for other people to see, for other people to feel through your aura, for other people to feel through your chemical endorphins or whatever they are. So that's why we have two colors there. Everything else is about the same. If you're an angry person, that's going to be your sacral. Okay. If you're confident, that's going to be this. If you're steadfast, that's going to be this. If you're creative and expressing things in a verbal form or in other ways, that's going to be your throat. If you're good at seeing things, you have all the clairs like clairvoyant, clairaudient, clairsentient, that's going to be your third eye. And spirit, once you get to spirit, you're going to be very spiritual. When you deal with spirit, you're going to be able to be with, talk to the saints, the rishis, whatever. You're going to be able to be in touch with them. You also use that for, like I use that in the Akashic records. To get into the Akashic records, I use the crown chakra, as well as the third eye. I just had to look outside. We haven't been raining forever, and it is raining. Just a few sprinkles. Hopefully it pours down on us, but not until I get home and get my stuff done outside. So anyway, there's your overview. There's the big, hopefully it gives you a little bit more understanding of how these all work together, because you want to try and move them up. You want a good way to deal with the shadow work, a good way to do balance these is through meditation, obviously, through changing your lifestyle. Now, it is not saying, oh, I'm going to walk today. That's going to help me ground. Well, it will. But you have to work with all the chakras. You have to, it's a change of lifestyle. It is not like going on a diet for weight. You have to go on a diet. You have to do your exercise. You have to change your attitude toward it. You have to on and on and on. That's what has to be done for this. You have to change everything. That's the only thing you have to change. It's everything. Okay. That's what'd you say, Mary?
Ongoing.
And it's ongoing. Yes, it's not something that. Yeah, it's something that you don't. It's how one friend says to me in different places that it's education without graduation. Now, this is not education just of up here. That's the other thing you have to remember. Knowledge is not everything. You have to put it into the chakras. You can actually do meditations, and as you do a breathing exercise, you can breathe and feel and say, I'm going to breathe into my heart. And you can go and have it directed right to your heart or whatever chakra you want. And eventually you may not feel it at the beginning, but you will as you continue it. Breathing exercises, yoga. Yoga is all about balance. It is not about physique. Everybody thinks yoga is about physical. Yoga is about balance. Every different yoga posture or asana is working with a chakra and helping to balance that chakra. Look it up. See which one you are having problems with, what chakra you're having problems with. Find the yoga asanas to go with it and combine them with other ones so that they can communicate. That's the purpose of Tai Chi, yoga, Qigong. It's all about balance. It's not about being better with your physique. And it's energy. And energy, every one of these chakras is energy. Red energy, orange energy, yellow energy, pink and green energy, blue energy, purple energy, white energy. It's all energy. So yoga, Tai Chi, Qigong, all those are energy work. Reiki is energy work. Acupuncture is energy work. Many kinds of energy work out there. Some are better than others, or they're all good. None of them are better than the other. They're all good, and you choose what resonates with you to help you with where you want to go. But you can't just do the energy work. You have to change your attitude. You have to change your way of thinking. You have to eat the right foods. You have to do. There's so many things, and so we'd be happy to help you here at the church. If you have any questions on it, we'd be glad to help you. Have a Zoom meeting where we can get in touch with you so you can actually express it instead of trying to type it in an email. Give us a synopsis in the email, and then we'll make arrangements to talk to you and see what we can do to help you out. We don't demand anything of anybody. We let you make the final decisions, but it's certainly available to you. We are metaphysical, so we deal with the metaphysics. Meta is unknown. Physics, we all know what physics is, so it's the physics of the unknown. So, yeah, come to us, email us, fellowship@goodheartchurch.org. I'm hoping that when I get shut down for a few weeks, I'll get my website going. Because I've been too busy. We're trying to build a house. We're trying to work some land. We're trying to do so many things right now. And I just haven't taken the time off to do it. And I need to get it done. So as long as I'm out of the narcotics and still relaxing at the rehab that I'm going to, I can start working on some of these things and get maybe the website going. And Paul is my webmaster, but he has to have my input. So might be a little bit longer today than what we usually have here, but share this, comment, give us a thumbs up. And for those of you who haven't subscribed, subscribe. Make sure you pass it on.
Make comments.
Make comments. Yes, make a lot of comments. We could use the encouragement. We could also use some emails to know that people are wanting some help. Now, we're not the end all be all. There are other people out there to help you. And we don't know. We direct you to the people that we think could help you. We're not going to say you have to come to us only. Make those comments and be spiritual in everything you do. Well, that turned out a lot better than no, you're off. Once that camera's off, you're. Oh no, you got to be.
Oh,
That-
yeah, I can hear that.
You could hear me saying it.
Yeah.
It was better than I thought it was.